In my previous video, I talked about the whole Tesla thing, the fact that I got to order my car, how excited I am about it, frustrated I am about it, and all that. But there was a little something I wanted to add to it, a little bit of a, I don't know, an addendum. That's what that means. That kind of is in conjunction with this. So, in a video that I did, I want to say it was on this channel, actually. It was a while back. Maybe even when I was complaining about the window situation. Um, I don't know. I mentioned something about the Tesla. And one of the comments that I got said something to the effect of, you must be pretty wealthy if you can afford a Tesla. And my immediate knee-jerk reaction to that is, what? Me? No, I'm not wealthy. I'm not, both my parents are teachers. I grew up and I didn't have this, I didn't have that, and all that, blah, blah, blah. My current car is 13 years old. It's falling apart, all that kind of stuff. And that's immediately what comes into my head if anybody were to suggest that I'm doing, that I'm well off or anything like that. Because I certainly don't feel well off. I don't feel wealthy or anything like that. But I feel like if I am being honest with myself, if I step back and look at my situation right now, for me to say things like that wouldn't be completely, it wouldn't be completely honest. It would be disingenuous, I think, and it would be me. It would be me like not being honest with myself and not being clear-headed about it, I guess. The fact of the matter is, and I don't, this doesn't feel right to even say it, but I'm doing pretty well right now, financially, career-wise, and all that other stuff. I have people who support the channel on Patreon, and they are doing it like at the $1 level, and then they quit, they leave, and in the you do a little exit survey when you leave, just to like let you know why. It's more of a quality control kind of thing, and every once in a while I go and look at the exit surveys because I want to know if I'm not providing what people are wanting and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times it just says my financial situation changed. That's one of the rote responses that you can choose, and it kind of cracks me up sometimes when I see that and the person was donating at $1 a month, and I'm like, really, you can't afford $1 a month? But the thing is, yeah, they maybe can't afford $1 a month. And the reason why I know that's possibly true is because I was in that situation once upon a time. I was in a situation once upon a time where I was counting every single dollar. So I know that situation exists. I am happy to say that it's been a while since I've been in that situation. And things are, I am, look, I'm just going to be honest. I'm making more money doing the YouTube channel right now than I've ever made at any job I've ever had. This doesn't mean I'm driving a Bentley. I'm not, getting on a private plane or anything like that. And honestly, it doesn't really even feel like I'm making that much. I'm not, my bank account isn't overflowing or anything like that. It doesn't feel like wealth. It doesn't feel like affluence or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have to worry about money on a daily basis. And once upon a time, I so did. And there's a lot of people out there, far too many, that are going through that right now and have been in that their whole lives, maybe. So for me to look at my situation right now and be like, oh no, I'm not doing all that well. No, I'm not rich or I'm not wealthy or anything. I think it would be unfair to people who really are struggling for me to say that. So as weird as it sounds, and as much as it does not feel like this at all, I'm really lucky right now. This Tesla is a ridiculous amount of money. I will probably be spending about as much on this car as I will be spending on my half of the mortgage. My wife and I obviously split the mortgage in our house, so I only pay half of it, but I'm going to be spending about that much, maybe even more. I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, I'm going to try to get my credit score up so that I can cut down on that as much as possible. But it's a weird situation for me to be in. It's a weird reality for me to face. That I'm actually, I don't know that I'm in the top 10% or anything like that. I doubt it. But it's not part of my identity. I grew up, I feel like I'm defending right now. It's not what I'm trying to do. But both my parents were teachers. I grew up in a really small town. I didn't have much. I wasn't wanting for food or anything like that. But, my first car was a hand-me-down through the family that was older than I was. I just, and when I went to college, my God, I literally had to I had to pay my tuition on credit cards, and I later had to declare bankruptcy. I mean, I've been there. And in my head, inside of me, that's what I still identify with. So this idea that I'm actually doing well off enough to get a car that's a ridiculously priced car, as far as I'm concerned, it's not. It just feels weird for me to even think that I'm in that situation. But while I'm talking about it, I felt, I do have some justifications for spending this. And first thing I want to get across is, it's been 8 years since I've had a car payment, since I paid off my last car. So I am not looking forward to having another car payment at all, especially one as large as this one. And honestly, yeah, I'm a little terrified. Whatever excitement I have about getting this car is equaled with the anxiety that I have about paying for it. And especially now that I've sort of placed that order, all that's non-refundable. So I'm kind of in it now. I'm sort of, I don't know if it's past the point of no return. I can always not go for it, but but there's some justifications that I have. And maybe they are just my bullshit machine in my head trying to make it all okay or something. But these are the justifications that I have for spending an exorbitant amount of money on a car. First of all, there was a great video. I think I got a comment one time from the Now You Know guys, Zach and... sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Zach and Jake, I think their names are. I think they commented on a video one time, so maybe they're watching this. If you are, say hi in the comments. But they did a great video one time where they broke down the true cost of a Model 3. And what they did was they took a Honda Accord, and then they took a BMW 3 Series. And the BMW 3 Series is about the same price level as what, I think my thing just blinked, about the same price level as Model 3. And what they did was they looked at the cost, the true cost of ownership over 7 years, considering the cost of gas and the cost of electric, the cost of maintenance and all that kind of stuff. And the deal is, especially in the maintenance category, an electric car in general, not specifically Tesla, but an electric car has just far fewer moving parts. There's just a lot less to go wrong, and there's a lot less to maintain. You don't have to change the oil. You got to change the wiper fluid. That's about it, really. Wiper fluid. That's really about it. Maybe brake fluid. But yeah, I think a conventional internal combustion engine has like 2,000 something moving parts, and a Tesla Model 3 has like a couple hundred moving parts. It's vastly different. So anyway, they did the cost over 7 years of the Honda Accord Model 3 and a BMW 3 Series. And the Model 3 came out just slightly above the Honda Accord. Now, nobody in the world would say that a Honda Accord is an extravagant car or an extravagant expense, and yet the Model 3, over time, it all about equals out. So it is a big upfront cost, but over time, it's not that bad. It's actually very reasonable. So I'm going on that, and they're not the only ones that I've seen break that down, but I thought they did a great job of it. So kudos to them. So there's that. The other thing is, I know that life kind of has waves. Things are going to go up and down. I'm doing really well right now. I know that's not always going to be the case. So it's at some point I will probably be counting every dollar again. That's just how life works. And I want to just kind of enjoy it while I can. I want to have the things that are important to me, because again, the EV thing, the Tesla thing, it's not just it's a cool car, and it's not a status thing for me either. Actually, one thing that I'm a little bit anxious about when I get it is I'm used to driving an invisible car. Nobody ever comes up to me and asks me about my Jetta. It just doesn't happen. But I'm sure everywhere I go in the Model 3, I'm going to be getting looks. People are going to be asking me questions and stuff. I'm not actually looking forward to that. That's a little weird to me. I think about going out to my car from the grocery store or something and seeing somebody like looking in it. That's weird to me, and I'm sure that's going to happen. That's not why I'm getting the car. Is the point? Like, some people might get it for that reason. That's actually a reason why I might not want to get it. But it is sort of the kind of car that I want. It's sort of accelerating this transition that I think the world is in, and I want to help that. I want to be a part of that, and I want to take advantage of the situation that I'm in. I'm in a good place right now where I can actually afford to do that. Maybe barely, but I can afford to do it. So I want to do it while I can. Life is short, Do the things that you like when you get the chance, or you might not get that chance again. So there's that. That's honestly the biggest reason. But another thing is, there are the tax incentives. I do want to get a chance to take advantage of that. There are the fact that I do videos, and I'm sure I'll be doing videos with this car, and I talk about Tesla quite a bit. I still need to talk to my accountant about this, but I know of other people that do this. I could actually write off my payments on this car. This might actually be tax deductible, so I would probably get some of that money back. So it's kind of like it's this big, huge chunk of money, and it sounds really imposing and awful, but you can kind of chip away at it in several different ways. Again, with the maintenance thing, that's going to bring down the cost over time. With if I could write off the payments and my taxes, awesome. There's also this $7,500 tax incentive. I mean, that right there would probably pay for like 8 of my payments once I get that back. So it's and plus, and this is in the far future, but Tesla has this idea of doing the Tesla network, where once the cars become fully autonomous, and again, this may be a bit down the road, once they become fully autonomous, you could put your car on this network, and while I'm sitting here working and making videos and stuff, my car could be out there driving people around like an Uber driver and just making money. So there is the possibility, we're not there yet, but there might be the possibility that at some point my car could be a net profit. Like, I actually make money on this thing. So those are all my justifications for doing this. And by the way, I've talked about the Tesla network before, and I always get those comments from people who are like, I would never let strangers go into my car and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's a few things. First of all, there's an internal camera in the Model 3, so that should something get effed up in your car, if somebody should mess up your stuff, you have a camera right there that can record. You can go back and find what happened, and you can... I'm thinking it would be kind of like Uber. If you're an Uber driver, you can rate the passengers. So if you're an asshole passenger, you're going to get some bad Uber ratings, and an Uber driver might not be as willing to pick you up. It's totally up to them to do that. And it would probably, I'm sure, be the same thing in the Tesla network. So if somebody was getting in my car as part of the Tesla network, I think they would understand that if they screwed it up, if they stole something, first of all, I wouldn't have anything in my car to steal if I was having strangers in there. But if somebody spilled something, like there would be consequences for that, and they wouldn't be allowed back on the network. If anything got really messed up, or if there was an accident or something like that, obviously there's insurance for that. So, for anybody out there that's like, I would never do that. Well, good. You don't have to. Congratulations. You are not forced to do that. You are under no obligation to do that. If somebody wants to try it, they're free to try it. I would probably try it. And if it doesn't work, if I don't like it, if there's if there's negative reasons for doing it, I'll stop doing it. It's that simple, guys. But anyway, those are all my justifications. This video is running kind of long. I knew it would. I'm kind of ranting here, but I'm at this weird place. Like I said, I actually, and I'm so thankful, guys. I cannot tell you how thankful I am that I can just go to a restaurant and order what I want. And there was a time in my life when I didn't even like look at the items on the menu. I just looked at the price, and I would just order the cheapest thing, and it was usually an appetizer or something. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll just eat that. Whatever, I'm fine. And I'm at a place where I don't have to do that anymore, and I'm so thankful. And honestly, sometimes I think I'm a little disconnected from that point in my life because it's been a while, since I've been in that place. And I'm in this position because of the people that watch my channel and that support me. And I'm not trying to take it completely out of my hands. I've made some good decisions and stuff, and I've worked hard, but I'm just thankful, and I'm grateful. And so I want to kind of share the fruits of all this with people. And if anybody wants to live vicariously through me or something like that, I don't know. I've certainly done that with other YouTubers, but that's the situation I'm in. It's weird. I'm trying to adjust to it, and I'm trying to be real with you guys. Like I said, if I were to come out and be like that knee-jerk reaction that goes on in my head, oh no, I'm not doing well, I'm poor, that's not real. That's me deluding myself, and I don't want to be like that with you guys, and I don't want to be like that with me. I'm doing well, and I'm so thankful for it, and maybe someday I'll get used to it. I don't know, but those are all my justifications, and that's my little rant. Sorry this went a little long, but I just want to share it with you guys. Tell me what you think. I'll catch you guys soon.